Now let's take a look at our biceps brachii muscle. We studied this muscle in the lab, and we know that the biceps brachii muscle is a muscle in the anterior aspect of our arm. The biceps brachii muscle has two heads, and that is why it was named biceps, because the root bi makes a reference to two, like a bicycle has two wheels. The root ceps is the short for cephalic, which literally means head. And it's called brachii because the word brachium makes a reference to arm. The biceps brachii heads are named short head and long head. And we know that the long head of the biceps brachii is always the most lateral one because we have L for long, L for lateral. Now, one of the functions of the skeletal muscles is to move the bones in our skeleton. And that's the reason why they were named the skeletal muscles. Now, for a muscle to be able to move our skeleton, we need it crossing at least one joint. It can be one joint or more than one joint, like the case of the biceps brachii muscle. The biceps brachii muscle crosses three joints: the shoulder joint, the elbow joint, and also the proximal radial ulnar joint. Because the biceps brachii muscle goes from the scapula all the way down to the radius bone. And this connective tissue that we see here, the biceps brachii connecting to the radius bone, specifically at the radial tuberosity, and in the proximal end, the long head and the short head connecting the biceps brachii to the scapula. This is a connective tissue connecting bone and muscle, connecting two different things. So this connective tissue is what we call tendon. So we have two tendons on the proximal end, specifically the long head and the short head of the biceps brachii, and we have one tendon connecting the biceps brachii to the radial tuberosity. Now, as I mentioned before, a tendon is the endomysium, perimysium, and epimysium that we have making up the muscle getting together, and then this tendon fuses with the periosteum of the bone. And that's why we can lift heavy weights and our muscles do not detach from the bones they are attaching to. Now, this middle part of a muscle is what we call the belly of the muscle. And the belly of the muscle is what will get shortened every time the muscle contracts. And what we see in muscle contraction is that we have one end of the muscle attaching to the bone that will move, and the other end of the muscle attaching to the bone that barely moves or is stationary. And the end of the muscle that's attaching to the bone that barely moves or that's completely stationary is what we call origin. And the end of the muscle that is attaching to the bone that moves is what we call insertion. And in muscle contraction, the rule is that every time a skeletal muscle contracts, the insertion pulls towards the origin. So we have, in the case of the biceps brachii muscle, the radial tuberosity being pulled towards the origin, which is in the scapula. And when this happens, the biceps brachii muscle contraction can cause supination of our forearm. Also, when the biceps brachii muscle contracts, it can cause flexion at the elbow joint. And since the biceps brachii also crosses the shoulder joint, contraction of the biceps brachii muscle can also flex at the shoulder joint. Now, guys, I'm just saying supination and I'm just saying flexion because I assume you know what supination is, what flexion is. I assume you know all the synovial joint movements we studied in the joints chapter. If you don't know those movements very well, please go back and watch those videos. That is crucial knowledge for you to be able to understand this chapter well.